Welcome back to the Show Me the Money podcast. This is episode 49. Before we get started, we have to ask you guys again. We got our most liked episode ever, last episode, all because this genius over here, Money Moicano, simply asked you guys to like the episode. 2,700 likes. I asked Gilbert earlier. I said, Gilbert, are you coming to the podcast next week? Guess what he said, Moicano?
What he said?
He said if this episode gets 3,000 likes, he's coming. He's going to be on the podcast next week. So, Moicano, tell them what they need to do because we need to ring their back.
3K is crazy. They should do like 50K, brother. So he doesn't show up next week.
All right, here's the deal. If we get 3,000 likes, he'll show up. If we get over 5,000, he's not showing up. We got a special guest today.
That's a good deal.
You got
He's
special
a
guest.
NHL superstar, Kyle Betts.
This is Gilbert Burns, brother.
Yeah.
I'm Gilbert Burns today.
What is this gear, bro? Tell us,
No, brother, I
Moicano.
try to be subtle, my brother. You just have to put the equipment and people gonna start to ask.
Act like normal, right?
Yeah,
like
act normal,
okay.
brother. Don't even talk about that.
Hold on.
Bro, the colors are fire, I'm going to be honest.
No, look at that. That's good shit, bro.
Yeah.
And the materials, but we talk about that in later
Yeah.
episode.
I got to ask you guys first and foremost.
This is just a sneak peek.
Okay. Let me see this glove, bro. I want to wear it.
It's fucking good, bro.
Moicano, I got to ask you first and foremost. Have you seen this dumbass trend? 100 gorillas versus, or 100 men versus one gorilla? Have you
Yeah.
seen this trend?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this shit, bro?
I thought society is dumb, my brother. I think people are sick and they're using too much the Twitter, my brother.
Let me ask
Honestly, I don't think does even make sense.
you. It's everywhere. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
I have to ask you, would 100 Moicanos take down a gorilla?
Not in a million years, my brother.
For real?
Well, for real.
I think you would get on his back, bro. Everyone,
Brother,
think
have you
about-
seen a gorilla?
Yeah, but think about it. Everybody would try to be.
I don't think 100 Moicanos beat Derek Lewis, brother. Imagine.
Wait.
Oh, God.
no,
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Wait, are you trying to compare?
Yeah,
Well,
no.
let's cut
No,
that-
I'm not trying to compare. I'm saying, so let me rephrase. I don't think 100 Moicano will beat a heavyweight on the
Yeah.
UFC.
But hear me out. Everyone that's gonna try to fight a gorilla.
Man,
is
let's start that shit again.
yeah,
I'm
let's
so
restart
sorry.
the whole pod, bro. Let's restart the whole pod.
Best podcast in the business. The name is Show Me the Money.
Welcome back to the Show Me the Money podcast. It is episode 49. Gilbert is still not here, but we have a special
Fuck
guest.
Gilbert Burns.
We have a special guest. Kyle Betts is here. He's wearing the Money Moicano fight gear, bro.
Do you think we can call him Kyle Bet since he doesn't bet?
He does bet, bro. He's a degenerate.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Don't
why?
blame
why
me.
is
It's
I
that-
not-
don't bet.
No,
I don't bet.
And
Okay.
don't blame me. I don't want to hear that I influenced you.
You don't bet? Really?
He didn't influence me. He just gave me inspiration, brother.
Yeah. Now I'm on math.
He
Well,
definitely
100K
bets, bro.
parlay for the
Trust
dog.
me, he bets 100%. Guys, smash the like button right now because Gilbert Burns said if we get 3,000 or more likes on this episode, he is returning next week. You guys gave us 2,700 last week because Moicano asked. Now Gilbert is asking for 3,000. Smash the like button.
Let's go.
How we doing, fellas? Moicano,
Very
how
good.
you feeling, bro?
Feeling great. Better than ever. Making money. And when I make money, I'm happy.
Yeah.
How much money do you have?
Let's say that's undisclosure, my brother. We cannot talk about.
Ballpark range, bro.
How much Bitcoin, bro?
Brother, depends on.
Who's asking?
Depends who's asking. 'Cause
I've seen-
that's a good.
Bro,
That's a good way
I've
to
seen
put it.
Moicano's Coinbase, bro. Do you know that?
You what?
I've seen it
You
before.
seen the Coinbase wallet?
Nah.
Yeah, he handed me his phone. He didn't realize, and I saw it.
Yeah, that's not true, my brother.
No, it is true. It was right here too.
It is true.
But I'm closed mouth, bro. I would never disclose someone's finances.
No,
you know?
true.
Let me
So
know
what
in the
was it?
comments how much Bitcoin Moicano has. Let me know in the comments, you know? Because let me tell you something. You guys don't know about YouTube, my brother. YouTube,
Yeah.
you have to talk very loud on the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you have to ask for motherfuckers like that to subscribe and to like. You know why?
Yeah.
Because usually people are stupid. and you have to
Damn,
tell them,
bro.
you know what you do. You go on the like button and you click the like button, and they do.
You gotta put the little animation too, like the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
mouse
yeah,
with the
yeah.
click and everything.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not. It's not that they are stupid. They just don't know how to do it. You have
Bro,
to
tell it like it is, bro. Come on.
tell like this. Tell like this.
Moicano, have you heard about this trend going on right now, bro? 100 men versus a fucking gorilla, dude.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this shit?
Yeah, I have heard, brother, and I saw a tweet saying that Mr. Beast did the challenge, and I am so stupid that I went to the Mr. Beast channel to see if that
believed
was.
it.
I believe that shit.
Yeah, no,
I believe that shit.
someone
He
made
has
like a-
the money. He's kind of have the money that he could do it, right?
He is the money that could go to zero in that type of fucking
Yeah.
Very
that
true.
type of liability. I don't care if you get people to sign waivers for that shit. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, no waivers for getting
Moicano, I
killed
have
by
a-
a gorilla.
I have a question for you. If you were to do 100 UFC fighters versus a gorilla, or 100 Navy SEALs versus a gorilla,
I think everybody will get fucked by a gorilla.
who has
my
the better
brother.
chance?
Nobody. Have you seen a gorilla? That's so dumb. That's like ask if somebody could fight a bear. And it's bear, right? Bear.
Khabib.
A bear, yeah.
No, fucking baby bear, brother. I'm telling you, like Joe Rogan. Joe on the podcast, he always talk about bears and all that. Brother, there is no way a human being can defeat an animal like a gorilla. What do you think, you guys? What do you guys think?
I think you got to put the right people together. Like people that come out and gonna try to like strike and hurt the gorilla, there's no chance. But like if you get 100 money Moicanos and you got jump on the back and try to choke it out, then you're alive.
But you have to think about that. Who is going to be the first one that goes?
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're gonna get
30.
killed instantly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then everybody will, okay, I think I'm not gonna. I'm good with that. I think I'm cool. You know?
Moicano would be in the corner. and be like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
okay,
that."
brother. Deal with that shit. I don't care, brother. You know?
It's a pretty stupid. I can't believe how viral it is.
Yeah, it's
the
because of
fact
that
we're-
video.
No, it's more than that, dude. It's just everywhere now. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even on Portuguese, I went to the X yesterday, and people were like referring to that. They say, "Hey, the American Twitter are talking about that, and that's my opinion." Fuck your opinion. Nobody wants to know your opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
One of my favorite quotes is, "You don't always have to have an opinion about everything."
Yeah. People don't know shit, bro. And now they don't fuck have money, and they talking about a gorilla. Fuck that,
You
bro.
sound like Andrew Tate, bro.
No, I don't care about what he has to say too. I'm just saying, do fucking something with your life, my brother.
What should they do, bro?
They should subscribe on that fucking channel and like button.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's move on. I want to hear Moicano's opinion on this. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, the trilogy for the BMF title, UFC 318, July 18th. Apparently, Poirier wanted Porier or Justin Gaethje. Do you like the matchup, or do you feel like the UFC should have made the Gaethje trilogy or the Poirier fight?
First of all, if you're watching this, comment on Dustin Poirier last post. You have to be here on our podcast, right?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
We have to bring him here. But you know, it's kind of like ask. I don't like, you know, a training partner,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you guys can do it, right? You go over
Yes,
there
yes.
and ask, hey, go to the Show Me the Money podcast. And me personally, I think that was the perfect fight for me. I think it's a very good opportunity for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
I think he's good for Max Holloway too. He's coming off a loss. He's moving to 170. He lost to Dustin Poirier 2 times. I think it's the perfect and the final chapter on Dustin career. I think it's amazing. I think it's better than he fight Topuria because I think, to be honest, on the 155 division, Dustin Poirier has one of the best chances against Topuria, right? Because Topuria is a good boxer, so as
Yeah,
DP. He's heavier, you know. He's been here for longer on the 155. So imagine if DP goes over there and knock Topuria and then retires. He
yeah.
just fucked up the UFC, you know.
And there's no, dude, I feel like if Dustin knocked out the Poirier, his ass ain't retiring.
He's not retiring.
I feel like he would be like too hyped up to retire after.
Yeah,
that, you know, 'cause
probably.
he's a straight competitor, bro.
Yes.
And the juices would start flowing again if he knocked out Poirier, and he'd be like, all right, what's next? He wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to stop.
100%.
The
Yeah,
Holloway
but
fight's
imagine
great,
if he retires. You know, he just fucked up years of promotion from the UFC, and then he say, "Okay,
though. No,
I'm
you
good."
nailed it. That's exactly why the UFC.
Yeah.
It's high risk, but I think Dustin did want.
You're not
that.
gonna ask his opinion.
What's your opinion? Man?
You know what that means? Fuck you, Kyle Betts.
Yeah, that's okay, bro. I'm just the bystander here.
I'm just a bystander.
No, I think the Dustin and Max fight is good, but just as a fight fan, you don't want to see Dustin lose going on his way out, and you also just Max Holloway being knocked out for the first time ever, you know, getting his chin cracked. You just don't want to see him lose either, and unfortunately, one of them has to lose. You know, I literally when it got announced, I commented on the picture. I hope this fight ends in a draw. Because just as a fight fan, you don't want to see.
Brother, that's the most pussy thing that I ever heard, brother.
Hey, he wanted his opinion, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
sorry. Next time, you don't. There is a reason why you don't ask his opinion, my brother.
One thing I'll say, Moicano, I think Dustin deep down wanted that Justin Gaethje trilogy because I think Dustin knows or thinks he's the better fighter, and he was winning. He was up 2-0, and then he got the head kicked by Justin in that second fight. And I just feel like he wanted that one back.
What you mean 2-0? Like he beat
He was
him
up
2
2
times?
rounds to 0.
On
in
the
last fight.
On the last
he got
fight,
head
he
kicked
was
in the
winning.
third round. I think in the scorecards he was up 2 rounds to 0, if I'm not mistaken.
against Gaethje.
I don't
But
remember.
it was very close rounds for sure. But I
Yeah.
think I saw it on like verdict or something. I don't know.
That was a
But,
crazy knockout.
whereas the Max, you don't care that he's up two fights
Yeah,
to
that's what
0
I'm
on
saying.
Holloway though. Like it's like why a trilogy if you're up 2-0 on someone? Like you've won both times.
Because that is the BMF title, you know, and the last guy that won the title was Max against Gaethje.
Right.
So that's why they
I
are
think
doing
Max is a harder fight for him right now
right now.
than Justin. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm-
He beat the guy twice, you know. I think,
But the first time they were real young.
but the second
The
time
submission.
was, you know, was
Yeah.
I think
5
it's,
rounds.
It's just a storyline, though.
Max
like,
at 155 though, I think is a different fighter than at 45.
but he fought him at
He's
55
more-
as well, though.
Yeah,
He's more filled out. Yeah. He just looks so good against Justin, but
yeah.
I think that was the perfect stylistic fight, though, for Max to fight Gaethje. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is a bad matchup." Like,
It was.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And like he say, legends only, right? I think is just the right fight, the right time, and I hope Dustin beats Max Holloway and get the BMF belt and
Retires.
go away and
I
no
think-
more BMF
I
title.
think it'll happen just because he didn't win the belt against Islam. You know, like,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
You know he wants Lil Wayne to walk him out in New Orleans. You know that?
I don't know who the fuck is Lil Wayne, my brother.
You don't know who Lil Wayne is, bro?
No.
Hold on. Cuz.
Should I know?
I'm gonna play like
Do you
5
know who
seconds
is
without us
Ludwig
getting,
von Mises, my brother?
Ludwig von
Hold on,
Mises.
bro.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna play like
Austrian
5
economics.
seconds
Exactly.
of some Lil Wayne.
Exactly, my brother.
This
That's
ain't gonna copyright
Hayek,
the channel.
Rafa.
MoneyMoicano.com school $50 a month. You'll
No. I'm
I'm
learn
gonna play
about
the
it.
I was gonna
instrumental.
say before you play it, do you want me to just show him a picture?
No, I'm gonna play the instrumental so that way we don't get copyrighted on the channel, right? If I just play the instrumental.
It might still get copyrighted, but
Never heard this? Lil Wayne, bro.
What-
That's the
what
baby
kind of-
version.
He's a big American rapper.
You don't know who Wheezy
Yeah,
is?
I don't give a shit, bro.
Little Wayne found like Drake.
Bro, you don't know who Wheezy F is? You know who Drake is?
I don't give a fuck about Drake too, my brother.
But you know who he is.
I know who he is.
Okay,
I
fair
know
enough.
he's very bad at bets. Okay.
That's what
Isn't
Drake's
that guy
famous
Drake
for.
bets that he's losing all his
So
parlays?
Drake is the fade god of rap. You're the fade god of MMA.
Yeah,
bro.
brother, I get it wrong every time, brother. I
Bro,
fucking
this past weekend, I'm right there with you. Let's talk about that though, because I'm so disappointed in Carlos Prates' performance because I know that
I don't think you should be that disappointed because he did well.
He
You
did
should
well in
be
the
you
last
should
round
be
and a half.
raging against Michel Pereira, brother. Michel Pereira
that was crazy.
was fucking crazy, man.
I'm waiting for something to come out that he was injured or something. 'cause
Yeah,
that's what
like
it
he
looked
has some COVID-19 or
Yeah.
something, my brother.
But like Carlos Prates, bro, I know he was a better fighter, and he just didn't. He was on autopilot the first
look,
3
look,
rounds.
he's not a better fighter.
I think he is.
How he lost, brother?
I don't
Bro,
think
It's,
so.
it's
But
just
once
like
his
that.
back was against the wall, he like came to life. Like if he came out from the first minute of the fight, like with that type of sense of urgency, bro.
But you
like-
have to let
and
me
then he
make
let
a
him
point.
up in that 5th round. What
Let
did you
me
make of
a
the
point.
5th round?
Let me make a point over here, brother. I like Carlos Prates as a fighter. I think he's a very good fighter. I am a fan. I'm a huge fan, you know? And I don't like Ian Gary that much. I don't know about you. I know maybe he's seen this clip. It is what it is. I like some fighters, other fighters I don't like that much. But let me tell you something. He's better than Carlos Prates, and he showed, right?
I agree.
Why? Because he did MMA, he shoot for takedowns, he control a little bit, he did the perfect fight, and he got the fight on 20 day notice too.
Yeah.
You know, it's very hard because if it was short notice for Protes, was for Ian Gary too. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Ian Gary. I don't like him that much too. I don't like he's trying to be Brazilian, you know, all the time. Brother, he's asking for CPF. CPF is like the social security, right? Wait until they give you the social security from Brazil. You're going to pay a lot of taxes, my brother. You know? That's fucked up. I see Brazilians want the green card, but I never see a guy from outside Brazil wanting the CPF. That's fucking
Irish
crazy.
guy.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you watch the fight, it was the perfect fight. You know, the beginning he was shooting for takedowns, not to get the takedowns, just to get him worried.
Yeah.
And then the fight goes on, and he almost gave a master class. Joaquin Buckley says something, and I agree with that. Like he say, Ian Gary could be a star, you know, because I think he hurt Carlos Prates. If he went for the finish, he would finish the fight. But he was playing safe. I can totally understand that, you know. And you were asking me about the 50 round. I don't know how he didn't finish the fight. You know?
That's my
but
point.
even if he did finish, like the 5 rounds, Ian Gary was better, right?
Yeah, he was better in the first 3 rounds for sure. My whole point is like in round 5, bro. It's not like I'm giving credit to Ian Gary for surviving and escaping. It was more the blame was on Prates for not finishing. He had him hurt so bad, he let him off the ground twice.
Yeah.
And he wasn't gassed. Like, he was tired, obviously. It's the 5th round.
He was,
But he wasn't, he was fatigued, but he wasn't gassed. It's not like he was out of gas. And, like, it was just so strange how he let him up twice. It's like he wanted him to get back to the feet so that he could knock him out. But you were having so much success at the ground and pound.
Yeah.
And then, dude, there was 2 opportunities he could have just climbed on the back and tried to get a rear naked choke or something. I was surprised
Or
he
get
didn't
them
go.
mount.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't go for that either. Once you get Ian Gary back on the feet, he's just so elusive. He can just survive, bro. And that's the problem is I didn't think Gary looked that great on the ground when he was in danger. Like, he gave up his back a couple times. He was getting tagged to the head a few times. Like, bro, I'm just a salty gambler at the end of the day. I mean, bro, if I told you how much... I'm being real, but if I told you, bro, that depressed me so
I'm a fucking
much.
salty gambler.
Because to lose almost every round like that, and then the last round to have a chance, and then my soul left my body, bro. When my soul left my body in that 5th round, if I told you how much money... Remember we were talking about the swings of gambling last episode?
Yes.
If I told you how much that swing costed me, you would look at me differently, bro.
We have to go to the casino today, my brother.
Can you stake me, bro?
And
I'm down bad.
Brother, that's not how it works, my brother. We go over there and you give money and I make money.
Brother, let me explain something to you. Every time I win big, I take care of everyone that
okay,
I
you
love.
lose
And
big,
then when
you
I
lose big.
no one comes to me, right? They just laugh at me, bro. And they slide in my DMs and tell me I'm a piece of shit. And they comment and tell me I suck. No one ever gives me money, brother. It's only when I win, I take care of people. When I lose,
Don't be a salty gambler, my brother.
I am a salty gambler. I just admitted that. So, but I'll stop talking about it because the people in the comments are gonna do the same shit to me. They're gonna tell me this shit.
You keep reading comments, my brother?
bro. I read every comment.
I think that's bad for you.
It is, but it's
Once
also what's got me here.
I heard Joe Rogan talking about that.
Yeah.
You have to post and ghost, my brother.
Yeah, but you also, then what do you do for the people that support you? You just don't answer them?
No, because depending on the post, there is some kind of like if you
Yeah.
talk politics, you know, I just post and I don't look at it. You know, if you post something that you know that people are gonna like, you can
Yeah.
read the comments, but you cannot get too much negativity of people
Yeah.
because people gonna throw at you
No, I know. I get that. I
bad
get that.
stuff, you know, especially when you lose.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. It's just a bad weekend.
Oh, it was
Don't kill yourself,
It
my
was
brother.
a terrible weekend. I'm not planning on it, bro, but we'll see. Jesus Christ.
How much, brother? How much? How bad it was?
All right, let me put it to you this way. If Carlos Prates would have finished that 5th round, I would have won about 40 grand. And since he lost, I lost about 25 to 30 grand. So it was like a 70K swing for me, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
A lot of bread, bro. That's like an
a lot
annual
of money.
salary, bro.
That's
So
the name of
since
the
you-
game, bro.
Since we're talking about this, that guy, Malcolm Welfare, do you know this guy?
Malcolm Wellmaker, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
Yo,
welfare.
I'm a big
Welfare,
fan of this
Malcolm
dude.
Welfare.
He's a monster, bro.
Brother, I am a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge knockout. But what I want to ask you about you is, did you see he quit his job for 50K?
Yeah.
But 50K is not that much.
Yeah, but it's enough. You know it more than anyone. It's enough to get over the hump, so you can make that big move and go all in on your career. I respect the shit out of it. Bro.
How long he can live on 50K? Where he's
Well,
living?
you don't know. He might have some savings from work, but it's enough where he can get over the hump and take it seriously. So I respect that. You know,
But you know what? I think he should stay on the job.
I don't.
For the media.
Bro, you got to go on your
Right?
dreams, bro.
Like Steve.
Think about it. And also, he's getting more popular as a fighter. He can probably get some brand deals and make a little money here and like go all in at the gym and focus on his career. I love that.
I'm
love the move.
I'm not telling for him to have a full job. I'm just telling you, just let people think that you still, you know.
I got you. Yeah.
Because then they cannot promote him as a blue collar anymore, right?
Yeah.
Or they can.
I can say from the past.
Ah, fuck that, my brother. That people like a story behind, right?
Yeah.
And he should say, man, I'm still working 50 hours a day. You know? Something like that.
What if he like walked to the octagon with like all his shit on and then he like took it off there? No?
I don't know. You have to talk to his manager about that, brother.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think he should stay on the job just for media, you know? Maybe I'm wrong.
Just
Well,
because
like
it's a
people
cool
can
story, you mean?
like people can relate to him.
Yeah. I think it's very nice, brother, when somebody does that, right?
Yeah.
Like they were showing, and it was his first fight, they were showing him working and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, he showed like a huge power for 135.
Dude, insane,
Brother,
bro.
the guy would jump.
Counter striking's on point too.
Yeah.
You know, he's not walking guys down. He's like a technician with power. He's counter striking, and he's.
Did you
putting
watch
guys'
his
legs
fight
up.
before the UFC on Contenders?
Yeah,
Was a knockout?
I watched a lot of tape on him. Yeah, it was a knockout. I watched a lot of tape on him, and he started off my night really well. I had him by knockout at plus 350. Those odds were insane. He's a knockout artist, plus 350.
Yeah.
You know, so I made.
So
a
you
lot,
made that money.
I made good money on him, but then it went downhill from there. So we got to talk about Anthony Smith's retirement fight versus Zahn, bro.
A lot of controversy about that on the internet.
A lot of controversy because the UFC really did a good job giving him, you know, his retirement video and walkout and respect. And
But first of all, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Who he was like?
A fan.
Why?
Because the fan, as he was down on a knee or like down on the ground, he was looking straight, and there was just one fan that was like,
Ah, okay.
yeah, and I think the fan did something like pre-fight too. I think it was like a few things that like led up to that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever had a fan in your life that just like went over the top or was talking shit like in person?
Brother, no. But the first time that I get a lot of hate was when I was fighting Jose Aldo, right, the legend,
Yeah.
on his fucking place, you know, because it's like this. You have California and you have New York.
Yeah.
And it was like I was in Jose Aldo's place, Fortaleza, like Nordeste in Brazil. Yeah, it was his hometown. Not his hometown, but pretty close. Brother, I remember walking to the cage and people were saying, "Motherfucker, I hope your moms die." Brother, they were telling so much crazy shit, you know. And I was just surprised, man, what I did to these motherfuckers, you know.
Yeah.
And after that, I say, hey, you know what? Fuck everybody. I don't care about.
Yeah.
Because if you care too much, you're gonna get fucked, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
Bro, the people these days, dude, especially on the internet, I mean, you wouldn't believe that I get death threats from my whole family off of a losing gambling pick. I swear to God. Like, you wouldn't believe. I mean, I can only imagine for fighters, like, what they get. You know,
But do you
I know
think it was a real threat?
I don't
No.
know. I don't know. But, like, even Gilbert used to say to us on the pod that he would get people that would be like in good fun, say, oh, you cost me my parlay, you did this or that.
Yeah.
Like, some people take it to the next level, bro.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. That's true.
It is what it is, bro. But what did you make of? You think this guy Zahn is like the real deal? Round 1 TKO on Anthony Smith. I thought it was a ton of shots to the back of the head.
Yes, I was
and then
surprised.
no one was even talking
yeah,
about
nobody,
that.
nobody's talking
blown
about
away.
a ton of shots on the back of the head. I agree with you, and I don't know, man. I know Anthony Smith now is a co-worker of Homo Fight. We cannot talk it that bad, but when you, it's crazy, man. But I have some stuff to say. No.
Oh god.
He's like, cut this out. But anyway,
Cut this out, brother. Cut this out. No, but I don't know. Internet is just crazy. And in my opinion, I think he doesn't want to fight anymore. I don't know why he keeps pushing, because that's not the first fight that he quits, I think. What do you think?
He got cut open right off the start with those elbows. I was surprised he didn't try to mix grappling in earlier. That, you know, it was just all straight. He was just taking shots, countering. I thought he was going to try to mix the grappling in, but he just got cut with his vicious elbows super early.
And why they put that motherfucker against Anthony Smith on his last fight?
Well, that's the thing with Anthony Smith, bro. Is like we got to give the guy respect. He takes the craziest fights, and then just the fact of what he did in the John Jones fight is insane. Like I was watching a clip the other day. He literally said he wouldn't be able to look himself in the mirror if he said no, I can't continue, and won the belt that way.
Wait. So you're telling UFC did all that for him because the John Jones fight?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You sure?
I'm just saying that summarizes.
What do you think, Kyle?
100%.
You guys are so full of shit, bro. Well, see, like that's the thing is, what do you think about how the UFC, Moicano, I want your opinion. Does any other names come to mind where the UFC put on a great retirement for them?
No, no. People were all over the internet saying that. No, yeah,
anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing comes to mind.
You know
bro.
what I think? I think like he's a good product for the UFC as commentary. You know, so if they praise him, they make him look good. Like they say, all those years they do what they did.
Yeah.
I think that is good for his career, like outside fighting, like on the commentary team, on all that stuff. But I don't know. I was kind of surprised, to be honest, with the huge video about his fights and all stuff that he does. But like you say, I know I like to joke and everything, but what he did against John Jones was impressive. Most of the people would get the DQ and get the money, get the belt.
For sure.
You know?
If John Jones was down multiple rounds and someone need him in the head, do you think
he would quit 100%? You know, he would quit.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's the smart thing to do, but like financially and career-wise, but there's something to be said about saying, no, I'm not quitting.
But do you
People
think he
respect
could,
him.
do you think on the back of the head he could say, I'm going to do that because UFC going to treat me well? No, of course not, right? No. I think it's just who he is, brother. He's tough.
Yeah,
you know?
he's a legend of the sport. I think the consensus opinion should be here that we're glad that Anthony Smith got that treatment for his retirement, but why are some of these other guys not getting it too? Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what Dustin Poirier gets in Louisiana for his fight.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be huge.
For sure.
Huge.
I agree.
Huge.
I agree.
And he deserves it, you know?
Do you think the UFC went to Louisiana for
his fight's in New Orleans?
Did they went there for Dustin, or they're going?
Yes, for sure.
It's for Dustin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's for
and that's why
Dustin.
I'd be even sicker to have Lil Wayne out there too.
I
bro.
think he could become mayor, right, of the city. Don't you think so?
I think so.
I think they give him the key of the city or something.
I don't know.
Back
bro.
in the day, I think that motherfucker, people like him over there, brother.
Yeah.
What do you think about people that say like the UFC's in the business of like people on their last fight, like you know,
Build another guy.
yeah.
No, they like.
I mean, Max Holloway's already a built product, so
Yes.
it's not like they're trying to.
Yeah, it's not like they're trying, but
People are gonna.
it's
love
like Nate Diaz and Chimaev, you know.
That was crazy.
If
yeah.
they know, like the guy is big and he's leaving UFC, let's make the special treatment,
Yeah.
UFC treatment. They're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
You think they do that with Conor?
No, because they don't. Conor does. There is no sense of Conor leaving UFC, right?
Yeah.
There is no sense, you know.
Mhm.
But if you think about, we have Jeremy Stephens. Who the fuck is the guy fighting before Conor, brother? You know,
Yeah.
that's just crazy.
Did you see Randy Brown's knockout? Nicholas
Yes.
Dalby? Fight of
Yes.
the night, dude.
Yes.
Insane scrap, bro.
Yes. I was very surprised with the fight because I thought Randy Brown would play safe outside the distance
Yeah.
using the jab, but he went for the kill, brother.
Yeah, well, at some point, like, he got hurt. He was dominating, and then he got hurt and got
Yes.
knocked down. And then at some point, like Nicholas Dalby's just gonna make it a firefight, you know. So that it was like a perfect matchup stylistically, bro.
Do you think we're gonna to see like older fighters fighting from now? Because Dalby's like 40 and he still look good.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the guy. Some guys look great at 40. Look at Jim Miller is still good at 40, 41. Like the last fight was Chase Hooper wasn't a great fight, but Jim Miller was knocking guys out at 39 to 40 plus years old, submitting Cowboy Cerrone. Like, you know, he still looks relatively young. I think it just depends on the fighter.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Michel Pereira, bro, because you said it earlier, and I lost money on Michel.
How much?
Not nearly as much on my guy Carlos Prates, but you know what's frustrating, bro, is I feel like as a gambler, you put the work in on the tape study.
Brother, don't come up with that shit, brother.
No, let me finish. Hear me out, bro. I feel like you put the work in on the tape study. You analyze the fight, you dissect the bet and odds, but then guys sometimes just come out and they're just not who they are. Do you not see that? Like, what was that with Michel Pereira? I feel like he was either injured or something was going on. Like, you can't. Guys just come out and they're like they don't look anything like they've looked in their past 10, 15 fights. Like
Yeah.
Michel Pereira is a wild striker,
Yeah.
entertaining, fun,
Explosive.
He didn't show any of that, and I was like, I'm waiting for something to come out that he was injured or something.
I don't know if you guys know about that, but did you see his corner, what he was saying? Nobody's talking about that in English, right? Because you guys don't understand. But the crazy thing was, in Portuguese, the guy was saying, stick to the plan for the whole fight. All the 3 rounds, the corner will say, stick to the plan. On the first, on the second, on the third, stick to the plan. Everybody in Brazil is talking about that because what the fuck was the plan, my brother?
You know what? I'm gonna take a guess at the plan and tell me if you think I'm right. I think the plan was to survive for 2 rounds and tire out Abus Magomedov because he's known for gassing a little bit, and then finding a finish in round 3.
Yes.
Is
I
that
think
the plan?
that was the plan.
It
I
didn't
think
work.
that was the plan. No, of course not. He got tired too.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he always gets
Both
tired.
guys get tired.
Yeah.
That's why I was so confused at the plan.
No, like you say, he's one of the most explosive guys on the division. He's knocking everybody out on the first round. And then he wait 2 rounds to try to knock a guy. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense for me.
I was blown away, bro.
You
Like
know?
I said, it is what it is. It's just frustrating when you bet on someone and they just do something completely different than they've ever done before. You know, you can't predict that.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's hurt, if he's going some through difficult time.
Right.
But even on the walkout, you know, he was not looking like himself. Because he is always like in a good mood, funny, like trying to dance, to do all that shit. On that fight, he was looking.
Do you think his previous fight with Fluffy?
People
maybe
talk about
changed
that,
it?
right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he get beat that bad. Remember a fight against RDA?
Yeah.
If that shit was true, I would not be here, bro. That would be like fucking crazy because that was a fucking beat, you know?
Yeah.
And on my next fight, I look even better, you know? So I don't believe on. Actually, everybody's different. But for me, like if I'm down, I try to be in the best on my next fight. I don't know how is Alex Pereira. I don't know if that's going to affect him. But one thing is for sure, the fan base is leaving him like crazy. Everybody was trashing on him. Everybody was fucking saying,
Look, Brazilians.
Fucking Brazilians, my brother.
Wow.
Have you seen what Jean Silva talk about Brazilians? He doesn't like Brazilians anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
John Silva is a very vocal guy, bro. He's I'll give him credit. He's very loyal to his fighting nerds. If anyone says one bad thing about any of the nerds,
Yeah, but I think that's too much. He goes after
he goes
people, bro.
crazy. Yeah.
Man, chill out. Let people have opinions, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody have opinions. Like if people, of course, if he comes in like in front of me and talk about you guys, I will defend. But I'm not gonna go on every post and say, hey, you know?
For sure.
But Jean Silva is very emotional, so
Yeah, but that's what makes him a fucking dope fighter, bro. Like he hops in that octagon.
Yes.
Bruce Buffer starts, talking. I think Ian Gary was trying to do the same thing.
Do you
in
think?
in the octagon. Like Ian Gary, when Bruce Buffer was talking to Ian Gary, grabbed Bruce Buffer's head and tried to I don't know. It was the
Yeah,
same
hype
thing.
with
As,
him.
it was the same John Silva vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
Even though they are not from the same gym
right,
now.
right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Michel Pereira, in my opinion, going to have a very hard job on his next fight because I think UFC is gonna try to make him the worst matchup possible. What do you think?
Possible.
Who do you think is next for him, Kyle Betts?
Alex Pereira.
my guy trying to be a comedian over here, right?
little
With the
bit.
jokes.
A little bit.
That's a
Little
good.
bit.
That's a good exercise. I do kind of want to see. Let's try to match make for Michel.
He's
Pereira
what,
here.
ranked number 13?
No, he's out of the rankings today.
Maybe like a Roman Kopylov.
No, Roman Kopylov is on the top 15 now.
He's 15.
He's going to fight
Michelle
outside
16.
the rankings.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Chris Curtis.
Maybe.
Middleweight?
Chris Ikram.
What about Ikram Aliskerov?
Yeah.
I think they're going to do Ikram Aliskerov just because they fought on the same night.
I could see that. Yeah. Or Joe Pfeiffer.
Pfizer, you mean?
Yeah. RoboCop's at 22. How's that possible?
I was going to say against
That's the
RoboCop.
Tapology
both
rankings. I
both
don't think
coming
that's
off
right. I don't
losses.
think
That'd be
that's
an
right.
interesting fight, RoboCop and
Yeah, I think
Pereira.
RoboCop would crush him, bro. I don't know. All right, well, let's look ahead to this weekend. It's UFC Iowa card. Before we dive into that, if you guys want to get the picks from Hey Jive Picks, he's on a roll. Him and Nolan combined up 50 units in 2025. Use code SHOWME in the description below. You get 7 days free, meaning you'll get the whole Saturday card this weekend completely free if you use code SHOWME at checkout. The main event this weekend is a decent one. It's a little strange. You got Davison Figueiredo in Iowa facing Corey Sandhagen. And Corey Sandhagen, Moicano, minus 430 favorite. Is that disrespectful for Davison Figueiredo to be a 4-1 underdog here?
I think he's losing.
Yeah, I do too.
Man, I think he's losing because he's 37. For 135, he's kind of too old, right? And Sandhagen is taller, have better reach, he's very smart, like mushrooms, you know? So
He takes him in between rounds.
yeah. Imagine that, brother. He said that he takes mushroom on the fight week.
Bro,
On the fight week is crazy.
I should have asked you earlier, bro. If Carlos Prates, after round 4, would have smoked a dart and then came back in round 5, do you think he would have got the finish?
I think so. I think so. I think they should make smoking weed on the fight week illegal, my brother. Because Carlos Prates, like you say, he was tired, but so let me ask you, I think this is a stupid question. This is a stupid question, and I'm not sure of the answer. So maybe it's not that stupid. But do you think if he didn't smoke cigarettes, he would be better?
He won rounds 4 and 5, so obviously the cigarettes weren't the issue.
Yeah, but
He
that's what I'm
started
saying.
slow. That was the problem.
But that's my question. If he didn't smoke, he would be even better, do you think?
It's a good question. I don't know. I just don't think the cigs impacted him when, at the end of the day, if he would have faded in rounds 4 and 5, then everyone would have said that. But it's like, how can you say that when he got better later in the fight and looked worse early in the fight? So, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm going Corey Sandhagen in the Sandhagen-Figueiredo matchup. I think he's better everywhere, bro. Outside of power in his hands, I think he's better almost everywhere than Davison Figueiredo.
Not in jiu-jitsu, I think. Grappling
Corey's
skills.
really good now.
Not with the finishes. Figueiredo have some like good
Lot of
guillotine,
subs,
taking the back.
I could see. I think now that you said that, Figueiredo's guillotine, I think, is the one chance to beat Corey.
Or
Corey's
even the
gonna
takedown, or
Corey's
even
gonna
the
mix
back.
it in.
The back taking, you know.
Yeah.
He's not Aljamain Sterling, but if he
Right.
gets his back, but I think he will get tired. I think that will
I
be the
agree.
problem, you know.
Dude, round 3, 4, 5 finish for Sandhagen could pay big.
How
numbers.
much money?
I
Do you
don't
know
yet.
the odds?
I don't. Well, I know the betting odds, but I don't know the round.
You going
Sandhagen?
big?
Or
I'm saying for Corey to win in rounds. Corey to win late could pay pretty big in a 5-round fight. So, we'll see.
You guys going big on the bets this weekend?
Not after this past weekend, bro. I got to recover. The co-main event, though, is very interesting. Your boy, Bo Nickel, minus 290. Now, remember,
Bo Nickel?
Bo Nickel, minus 290. Remember, this guy's like minus 5,000 every time he fights in MMA. He set the record for one of the biggest MMA favorites of all time 2 or 3 fights ago. He started to look a little bit human in that Cody Brundage fight, but then he gets the round 2 sub. This matchup, though, Desmond Day Ritter, bro. The guy's a big guy for this weight class. He has jiu-jitsu. Should Bo Nickel be a bigger or a smaller favorite here? Because minus
Bigger.
290. You
Bigger.
think? So
Bigger.
how does he approach this fight? Because the Paul Craig fight, he only struck with him.
Let me tell you something, my brother. Do you know on the Christmas when they get the turkey and they feed the turkey and the turkey is very happy that he's eating and then they kill the turkey? I think that's what's going to happen with Derride. That make any sense?
With Day Ritter?
Yeah.
He said like they're like getting him in the UFC, hyping him up, give him
Yeah.
2 wins, and they feed him to Bo Nickel, and he gets crushed. And
exactly.
Please,
Thank you for the translation.
I really hope our editors crush that clip, bro. I want to see a fucking turkey getting bigger and bigger with Desmond Day Ritter's face on it, bro. And then I want to see Bo Nickel slaughter it, bro. Like, I want to see a sick edit from that.
The level of disrespect.
So, all right, I got to know, though.
No, because look my theory, right? Look my theory. Derride won UFC. Does UFC like one UFC or hate one UFC? I think they genuinely hate UFC, one UFC. I think everybody hates one FC. Even people that fight in one FC hate one FC. Why I say that? Because Derride say that, right? Yeah. He say that on the media.
The who?
Derride. Renier Derride. I speak French, my brother. Even though he's from Holland, I know. but what I'm saying is, his first fight, GM3, he doesn't look that good, but he got the finish.
Yeah, late in round 3.
And then UFC say, okay, I'm gonna give
But
him.
the Kevin Holland fight, he won in round 1.
But they say, man, this guy is a jiu-jitsu guy who has the better name and doesn't have a jiu-jitsu on this division. I'm gonna put against Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland does have, he's a black belt. It's just, Day Ritter was just
Brother,
too big,
black
too big
belt
and strong.
doesn't mean shit. Black belt, you know that. I
I
am
mean,
a
he's
black
sub
belt. I
Michael-
got
he's
sub on
sub
the first
Michael
round.
Chiesa.
What you fucking talking
He's
about?
sub Michael Chiesa.
Michael Chiesa is fucking 40, brother. And he now is a fucking commentator, man. But what you talking about?
Bro, and he
We're
just
talking
won.
about competitive fighters.
So you don't think Kevin Holland is jiu-jitsu?
No.
I think that Day Ritter was just a weight bully.
Let's be honest.
I
Let's
think
be
Day Ritter
honest.
was just too big
Kevin
for him.
Holland is known by his grappling.
No, he's not known for it, but he's good.
No,
Day
he's
Ritter's
not
just-
good. Kevin Holland, I like to watch Kevin Holland. He's a great fighter. He's a good striker.
Yeah.
But he's not good at jiu-jitsu.
I don't watch Kevin Holland for his
Grappling,
yeah, I watch
exactly.
for his striking.
Even though he has a submission over the Michal, the Polish guy. You know?
Armbar. Guess how many submission wins Kevin Holland has?
How many?
9.
9?
9 submission wins, Moicano. How many you got, bro?
That's crazy.
How many you have?
I don't fucking know.
You got
Look it
more-
up, look it up,
you
look it up.
definitely
But
have
how
more-
many fights does he has?
He has 40 fights.
Yeah,
so that's
he fights
yeah.
every 2 weeks.
That's 25% of his fights he's won by submission, bro. You have
if I'm
10
just
wins
going
by
with the-
submission,
the
bro.
percentages
You got
over
10
here.
wins by submission. But
Damn.
you have less fights, so you 10 out of 20.
And that's my point. My last fight, I got submitted on the first round.
Bro,
Bro, what are you staring at in that picture, bro?
I don't fucking know, brother.
bro, you're
That was my first fight in UFC.
Yeah. And then they've updated your fucking picture on Tapology, bro?
Yeah, they did,
One of
brother.
the
But that's okay.
ugliest-
I
Bro, you
still
want to know
have.
you want to know your career you want to know what your career disclosed earnings are
No,
on Tapology?
tell me.
$175,000.
bro, you're
And that's official, my brother. IRS, that's the real fucking number, my brother. You know, Tapology doesn't mess up with that shit. Bro. Huh?
Oh my God.
But look, you didn't let me finish my theory about that.
Yeah.
So, Derride against GM3, he didn't look that well, and UFC say, okay, I'm gonna put a guy that doesn't have jiu-jitsu so he can look good.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And then they asked, okay, now everybody's talking about the guy. Is the right matchup for Bo Nickel?
Yeah,
Yeah,
UFC
no.
knows what they're doing. They build up DeRitter 2 fights.
build up-
Give him Bo Nickel, make Bo
Yes.
Nickel look way better. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
and
smart.
they're gonna see one FC sucks, you know? That's the message.
Yeah.
Do you think UFC is not happy with Chandler falling the way he fell and Pitbull too?
Pitbull, yes.
But I think
They
Pitbull
are,
is a-
brother. They,
Chandler, I feel like they
you have
love
to
him, bro.
realize that richer you are, more competitive you are. I think Dana White, Hunter, all these guys on the UFC, they are the most competitive guys, and they want the UFC to be the best, and they are right. There is a reason why UFC is the best fight promotion. You know why? Because they crushing motherfuckers, my brother.
100%. But I don't think you give Pitbull, Yair as first fight if you're trying to build him.
They know he didn't. He would not.
A win,
would-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm saying. If they really wanted to invest
but
into
no,
him, they
that's-
wouldn't give him Yair.
but
They'd give him
His point is they wanted him to come in and lose because the show
Exactly.
the UFC's
right,
better.
right.
That's
and I'm
my point.
agreeing.
But with his point on Day Ritter is they wanted to give him a couple wins
Yeah.
and hype and then let him lose.
because
But
Pitbull, he has hype, so let's fucking him up on the beginning.
Yeah.
He was like double champ in one UFC, but nobody knew. You knew him before UFC? I didn't.
Yeah, Bellator. It wasn't one FC Bellator. He was.
No, he was not Bellator.
Yeah, Pitbull.
No, I'm
we're talking
telling
about Day
you,
Ritter.
they
Day Ritter's
Oh yeah,
one,
he was one FC. No, I didn't know him.
Nobody
no.
knew
no,
him.
No, yeah,
So
no.
now they know him, and now they can promote. Oh, this guy's double champion one FC, and guess what? Bo Nico gonna fuck him up.
But how does he win? Because Day Ritter's never been submitted professionally.
However
Probably
he
ground
wants.
and pound.
You think ground and pound?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like
But let me ask you this, Moicano. If Bo Nickel wins another decision, does he lose hype? Because people did not like his performance against Paul Craig, bro.
he could lose hype, but doesn't matter because they're gonna keep him, feeding him, and like doing the right matchups.
Yeah.
Don't you remember Merab on the beginning before the title? Everybody was trashing him.
Right.
And now.
But he became excited with his antics and his skits.
And that's going to happen.
and his cardio.
That's going to happen, Bo Nico. You have to realize Bo Nico got into UFC with only 2 fights.
Bo Nickel doesn't have the personality of a Marab, though. He's got to do it with his skill set, I think.
But you have to, the way he sell himself is like a great wrestler and a great American,
Yeah.
So his base is going to be like people from wrestling, people from college, and like hard worker supporters. You know, people that like hard work.
I just think the expectation of him is so high that he's still learning. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he has such a big, they expect him to go out and dominate every time. He only has what, 6 fights? You know what I
7
mean?
fights.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
what I'm saying. He has more fights in UFC than outside UFC.
Exactly.
So he's fucking learning how to be a very good
Right.
MMA
No,
fighter.
I agree.
And you know why UFC is doing this? Because they know their business model. They know
They're
how
building him up,
Like
yeah.
Paddy Pimblett, brother. Let's be fucking honest. When he got in the UFC, who believed in Paddy Pimblett? And nowadays, even Dustin Poirier is giving his credit. Dustin Poirier just said yesterday, like, I think he would lose to Chandler. Paddy is legit. And guess what? He fucking is.
Well, that's another instance.
You know
of,
why? Because he got a lot of money. He got the right matchups.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Jared Gordon got robbed because of that, Sometimes UFC needs to be a little bit further,
Yeah.
Some guys, they have to protect, otherwise they have to,
Yeah.
okay, pay the... No, I'm joking. No, but you know what I mean, right?
Who do you think is better pure jiu-jitsu, though? Bo Nickel or Day Ritter?
I don't know. I never watched the read the fights, bro. I watched on GM3 and he didn't look good. And I watched on Kevin Holland. He did look good, you know?
He has 14 professional wins by submission.
That's a lot.
Brother, nowadays, jiu-jitsu is fucked, brother. If you have good wrestling, if you have good wrestling, if you have good submission defense, it's going to be very hard.
With Bo Nickel's game plan, like he didn't attempt to wrestle or grapple at all against Paul Craig. Do you think he comes back to that? Like I almost
Yes.
feel like his team was just like, hey, we just want to keep fighting grapplers and let him strike.
Yeah, I think so. That's
But
what.
if he doesn't find and if he doesn't damage him or put him away on the feet, it's just gonna be another dull performance. you
Yeah,
know?
but wait, brother. 7 fights. He's still young, huge fan base, and they're gonna feed him with another good fight, with another good name, and eventually this guy is going to be fighting for the belt. Do you have any doubt that this guy's gonna fight for the belt eventually?
I think it's hard to say. It's really
Hey, brother,
early.
you bored or something, my brother?
It's really early.
Like,
It's really early.
No, it's really early to say he's gonna fight for a
Ah,
belt.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why the UFC brought him in eventually too. But you know, how it is, bro.
100%.
Yeah,
Don't you think Paddy is fighting for the title eventually?
2026 maybe.
Yeah. So, man, the UFC, they know how to do the business, and you have to respect that. And let me tell you something. Bo Nickel is a great product.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you think that UFC like reaches out to like gamble, like how like for instance like I never understand how they make like the odds for like
No,
a
they have
fight.
nothing to do with it.
You don't think so?
Zero.
How do you think they make their matchmaking then? They really just get in a room and talk about it?
I think the matchmaking in the UFC is the best
Matchmaking has nothing to do with gambling.
gamble.
odds.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying though, like what I'm trying to say is like, for instance, gambling sports books always have like the odds down to a T. But like for instance, you have a 36.5 over, and it loses by 35 or it goes over. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you think that they reach out to, like UFC reaches out, like trying to get like a system behind, like you think this person would win this fight?
No.
Zero. They're
No.
completely
I
separate.
think UFC makes fights based on what people want to watch, want
Yeah,
to
that's
see.
it. They're in the
That's
business.
it.
That's it.
That's
Okay,
it.
but what I'm trying to say is they knew that Patty Pimblett would get Michael Chandler.
You
Is what
don't
I'm-
need to be a genius to see that,
It
my
doesn't-
brother.
that
You
doesn't
have
mean-
Michael Chandler, who is coming
Yeah,
off
but
of
it
4
has nothing
losses,
to do
and
with
then you have
gambling
Patty
odds. It has
Pimblett.
nothing to do with sports books and gambling
Yeah,
odds.
doesn't. The only thing is, look, UFC is trying to make Topuria versus Islam. Why? Because people want that fight.
Yeah.
You know, UFC is trying to make John Jones versus Aspinall. Why? Because people want to watch the
It
fight.
makes money.
Yeah, they want to make money. Easy, simple as that, my brother. They want to make good fights because they're gonna sell pay-per-views. That's the
Think
whole
of it this
point.
way, Kyle. The main event, Corey Sandhagen's a minus 430 favorite. You know, in the main event, you have a 4-1 favorite. So like, it is
like
no
even
correlation.
like last weekend, like Pratis versus Ian Gary. Like I think that was a lose-lose, in my opinion.
I mean, I think
like-
you could look at it as a win-win too, because both guys are guys they want to build. So either one that wins is.
I don't think Pratt's losing any stock.
He didn't. He didn't lose
No,
any
he
stock.
didn't. But it's like the only real like good thing, in my opinion, as most of fight fans, like we wanted to see Pratis to get the knockout. We didn't want to see an Ian Gary decision. You know what I mean?
But that almost happened. UFC
And
thought
they're-
about that.
And it builds the villain of Ian Gary's persona too. So I think it was a win-win.
It was.
Another fight. If we go down the card here, Ponzinibbio versus D-Rod.
Easy money.
For who? Ponzi?
Brother, Ponzi scheme is the best. Santiago Ponzi scheme?
You,
You
think
mean?
Ponzinibbio knocking out D-Rod?
I think that's a Ponzi scheme, my brother. Easy money. You know, if you get them the line right on the beginning,
Yeah.
I see Ponzinibbio winning. He's plus money.
No, he's moving. It's a very close odds. It's like a pick 'em now.
Because when I saw it was like plus 135.
It flipped that much?
Yeah, was plus 135 on the beginning. Take a
Let's
look.
see. He was minus 120. Let's see if he's a dog now.
He's just saying that because
Santiago was minus.
Ponzinibbio was the favorite, I believe. Yeah.
No, he was the underdog since the beginning, my brother. Are you not following up the odds, my brother? You're not doing your homework.
Ponzinibbio's minus 130 right now. He's the
Wow.
Favorite?
favorite. Minus 130.
Don't bet on him, my brother. That's no. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I think he will win, but who knows? Who knows? It's
Yeah.
a fucking fight.
I think the fight's ended by knockout in this one. No matter what.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
This is a pure striking match. I think it's 15 minutes of striking.
He's a striker, a boxer against a brawler.
Right.
D-Rod is a brawler. He comes to brawl every time.
Yeah. D-Rod ain't shooting, that's for sure.
No, and not Santiago doesn't know how to shoot, so he's not shooting.
Inside information, brother.
Yeah, inside information, my brother. This motherfucker only train boxing.
Yeah. All right, well, let's recap the last 3 fights of the night. We're all going Corey Sandhagen,
Yes.
right? We're all going Bo Nickel
100%.
Yeah.
and Ponzi or D-Rod.
I'm going D-Rod.
I'm torn on
Hey,
this
brother,
fight, bro.
I'm confused because when I did the analogy of the turkey, you guys don't do that on America. Was like the turtle in a tree. That's a very
was just
famous
about
line
to
in,
I
ask.
understand both of them, yeah.
in Brazil. You know, when you say turtle in a tree, everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It was a
No.
Brazilian thing.
Yeah.
Everyone understands it when you
Yo,
said it, though.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Why do you Brazilians, when you message, put KKKKK? What does that mean?
Brother, that's like LOL.
LOL?
LOL. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because
I had to learn what
it's
us
like
means, bro.
KKKK left.
What's us mean, bro?
Os?
Yeah.
Os is Japanese word that Brazilians fucked up.
What's it mean, though?
That doesn't have a meaning.
Yeah, it's just like
It's like
Shama.
Shama.
It's like Shama. It's
Yeah.
like Shama.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Shama. You can use in every situation. Shama.
I'm trying to
Shama.
think. What's the American? What's the English term where like people just use it for anything?
Yo.
Bet.
Bet. Yes.
Yes.
Bet is like Shama or us.
Shama or os. Yeah. Os.
Yeah.
Os. You can
Alright,
use
it's
in
all- it's all
every
making sense.
fucking
Or cuzzy.
contest.
Cuzzy.
You know?
Cuzzy.
Even
All right,
if you are on a
let's
fucking...
move down the card. This is a banger. Montel Jackson, a minus 185 favorite over Daniel Marcos, who's undefeated and an underdog here.
This is a
Hard one.
people are counting him out just because he's South American, my brother.
Yeah.
And this Daniel Marcos is pretty good.
I
like-
think he lacks punching power over Montel Jackson, though. I think he can win a decision, though.
17-0,
Yeah.
like undefeated,
Lot
4
of
fights in
decisions.
UFC,
But Montel Jackson has elite power at this weight class.
But who's
Elite
the
power.
best guy that he fought on UFC?
Damon Blackshear
Yeah.
starched him in
That
10
Mon
seconds.
Blackshear, but that was a lucky shot.
It was a sharp left hand 10 seconds in.
Yeah, so that was
a $10,000 shot for Maddie.
I got crushed on that.
You got
yeah,
crushed?
I lost 10 bands on that.
10 bands. 10 bands is nothing for you, my brother.
10 bands a lot.
You
of
are
bread,
you from the Rockefeller family. My brother.
bro. The what?
Rockefeller.
With the JP
Bro,
Morgans.
Yeah,
I
you
wish
fucking-
I wish I was
You're a
from a
fucking
rich family.
Mason, my
cousin.
brother. Freemason.
Yes.
Huh? You're fucking
He's
Freemason.
doing the Satanist
Oh, we
worship.
never
Satan
picked.
is-
We never
yeah.
picked the last fight. You did. You went D-Rod, Ponzinibbio.
Ponzi scheme.
I'm going.
I'm going D-Rod, bro.
That's tough, my brother.
But I'm torn. I'm going violence.
Bro, just fade
I'm not-
anything that this guy picks, man. That's all you got to do, bro.
All right, so are you
Cash out
going? Are you
millions.
going Daniel Marcos over Montel?
Daniel Marcos.
I'm picking Montel Jackson.
Going Montel, too.
Jackson.
I think he
All
can
day.
win. I think Marcos will win minutes, but Montel will win the bigger moments with big power. Marcos is 4-0 in the UFC, but he's a 75%
odds-
decision rate.
It's just against him because he's a South America. They want to deport him, my brother. That's the truth. He should be.
What the fuck?
No, cut this out, brother. This podcast is getting too
Yeah.
too political.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Show
Keep
me
it
the
going.
politics,
Show me
bro.
that. Yeah. Let's
Oh
go.
my God, Jeremy Stevens is a 4-1 underdog,
I'm going on Jeremy Stephens.
bro. 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. Mason
Hold
Jones
on.
is not that good.
100%.
What the hell, dude? 4-1.
Oh, my God. Look.
Look, brother.
Go, Maddie. Go, Maddie.
The demon kick him, my brother.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
How good is Mason Jones, dude?
So much value.
Yeah.
So much value.
Mason Jones is lost his last fight, beat Onama by decision, no contest, and then lost to Mike Davis by decision.
See, the UFC.
Jeremy
knows something
Stevens
we
could
don't
knock
know.
him out, bro.
Yeah.
But I think
I think he could win in a decision too.
what am I missing?
You're not missing anything.
I don't
He's
think
just
the
old.
odds should be that wide, right?
No, I don't think too.
That's crazy, bro.
Mason Jones, he's crazy. He gonna go to a brawl. And Jeremy
That's
Stephens,
his world.
his word, exactly. This
Right.
is his word.
And let's talk about the fact that Jeremy Stevens he's just a savage right now, dude. He just you know what I love about him is he just said fuck the world. He said like this is
Yeah.
me. I'm doing it for me. He said fuck everybody. And you talk about that all the time when we were like, what did you say the one episode, bro? Remember what I'm talking about?
no.
You don't remember when I was talking about? Oh, you said like when you lose, everybody like your own was it your dad didn't call you or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
You like you get to a point where you
Yeah, my father didn't call me, brother. But when you win, everybody calls
that's
you.
my point. Is Jeremy Stevens like
Brother.
he's that guy
And
right
when
now.
I fought for the belt, right?
Yeah.
Even though I lost,
Yeah.
I fought for the belt. So when I was in Brazil, people
Yeah.
were treating me like I was a fucking king. And I say, hey, get out, motherfucker. I know what you're doing here, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Remember,
People-
I messaged you after you lost, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly,
You gotta
bro.
be with your people
No,
when they're down
100%.
bad, bro. That's like people. Too many people just want to ride the glory
100%.
and not be there during the lows, bro. And that's what Jeremy Stevens is about. That's why I'm picking him as a 4-1 underdog. It's more than the X's and O's here. It's just Jeremy Stevens is a fucking dog. He's getting this done. Plus 400. The level of disrespect right now.
I
And
like
and
that.
and he only lost to like legends,
Yeah.
like Renato Moicano, you know?
I
And
forgot
Jose,
about that.
Jose Aldo, too.
Yeah, Jose Aldo. No, I'm serious. Like he's coming off a lot of losses in
Gamrot
MMA.
subbed him.
Yeah.
Back, that was his last fight in the UFC. I think this
When
is
was that?
That was 2021. I think a big part of the reason that
The odds.
he's this big of a
are-
dog is because he's back to MMA now, where in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights, he doesn't have a win. He has 1 no contest and 5 losses, but I think he's a different guy right
Yeah.
now.
Especially, I think is his hometown. He's getting back into the UFC. His last fight was for a title on the bare knuckle. Everybody was like thinking he was the underdog. He would lose, and he just got the W and got back in the UFC at almost 40. You know, I see some value on these odds.
How old is he?
I
39.
think, dude, the reason he's this big of a dog, Mason Jones landed 8 takedowns against David Onama. I think the odds makers think he's just going to get this fight right to the ground.
It's not that easy.
Gamrot subbed him in a minute and a half, and Jeremy Stevens landed 0 significant strikes. Zabit got 3 takedowns on him.
What
Jose
a-
Aldo finished him in round 1.
Zabit.
Yeah.
Renato Moicano got 2 takedowns against him. Split
It's just what
decision,
I
my
need.
brother.
Brother, they fucking...
Split decision?
Yeah, they trying to fuck me over on this one.
Really?
I remember.
Oh, that was 2017.
My first
bro.
fight in America, my brother.
Really?
And they sent me to Kansas City. Imagine that, my brother.
Bro has one of the worst treatments in
Brother,
UFC ever.
Imagine,
Go to Paris to
imagine
fight Benoit.
2017, a fucking Brazilian in Kansas City, my brother. I was surprised. I said, "This is America, my brother."
You probably saw
Crazy,
thousands
bro.
of white people. Like that's probably all you saw. It was probably like
Brother,
thousands
like
of
in the
white people.
movies, my brother. They were all Bryce Mitchells, my brother. Kansas
The
City.
earth is flat.
They were-
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
but was nice, brother. The first time outside Brazil, I could see.
I went to Kansas City for an NFL game once. The people were very nice, bro. Very nice people in
Yeah.
Kansas City.
That fight's not gonna be Kansas City. Going to be Iowa.
Yeah.
But it's the same shit, right?
yeah.
Yes, the same shit,
I've
basically.
never been
Yeah.
to either.
Yeah?
But I could tell you that they're the exact same.
Yeah.
The same looking
I
people.
think it's going to be the same shit. And brother, that was back in the day. I didn't go. I never been to USA, so okay, I'm gonna walk through all the city, brother. And I walk through all the city, brother, just to. Now fuck that, I don't care anymore, my brother. Just want to.
Except for Paris.
Yeah, Paris. I walk because
time.
was the first time.
What a time, Paris.
Yeah, Paris was nice.
So funny, Maddie walking
electric.
around with the fucking Brazilian
Man,
flag.
fuck, that was
I'm
nice.
doing that at the Apex for Gilbert, too.
100%. Nah,
Bro.
we can't do that. Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, we have to, bro, because
100%.
it's good luck. We did it for
100%.
Moicano. I just remember all the Paris fans are very casual MMA fans. Bro.
Yes.
They don't
are.
know anything about the
No,
sport. They know
no.
like they're French fighters and that's it.
Yeah.
Me and Maddie walked
Benoit
up
Croissant.
and, Benoit Croissant.
They just know Benoit Croissant.
Me and
Francisco Gain.
Maddie Francisco.
Wow.
You know.
Me and
Hey,
Maddie
what about the girl the French girl, the
Fiora.
The fuck motherfucker is a beast, right?
Bro,
Do you think she's winning against
that's 2 weeks, right?
Shevchenko? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Dude, I'm
don't-
placing my biggest bet of the year on her. I
I
swear
think
to God.
she's so good, brother.
I think she's smoking. Her.
Yeah.
Smoking Valentina.
She is fucking underdog or she's.
She's like minus 120 favorite right now. She is gonna smoke
How
Valentina.
much you gonna
bro.
pay, brother?
Because listen,
Can
she
I
will
do
stuff-
Can I do this bet
we'll
outside?
Talk, yeah, we'll talk, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, give it to me. I'll give it to him.
Bro, let me explain something. to you.
Undisclosure?
Let me explain something to you. She will stuff the takedowns of Valentina and smoke her on the feet.
I believe so.
I really
She
believe
will
it.
Carlos Prates her.
No.
She will call Sprout like she's gonna smoke and get tired.
Sponsored by Marlboro.
Marlboro.
I
Do you
she
smoke
smokes.
cigarettes, bro?
No.
Have you ever smoked
Unfortunately.
one?
Yes, one.
have?
A lot. Back in the day, I used to
Really?
smoke. Yeah.
Is cigarettes big in Brazil?
I think everywhere, right?
It is everywhere, yeah.
Every fucking where, my brother.
Even in Paris. Paris, there's
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, they love
yeah,
them there.
that's true, bro. I remember. I say, motherfucker, what happened here? What was like in getting back to the 90s?
Is
my
weed
brother.
big in Brazil?
Smoke?
Yeah.
I think yes, but it's getting. People are not smoke. Like I think nowadays people are vaping, right?
Yeah.
that shit is terrible for you.
Everybody loves the vapes,
Yeah,
bro.
vape
I don't
because
like it.
yeah.
No.
You ever
Yeah,
smoke
let
a
people
vape?
die, brother. That's
What
no
about
problem with that. Let them die,
What
bro.
about a Zin, bro? You ever do Zins or ever do Zins?
No,
A Zinachino?
no.
What
It's
about
good?
cigar?
Only once. I think it's expensive, right?
Bro, you know you smoke that shit. You don't have to lie, bro.
No, no. What about marijuana, Mary Beth?
I did in college. I don't do it anymore. Every now and then. But I'm just not a fan of how it makes me feel, bro.
Yeah.
Once
How
you
it
get
makes
older,
you
it
feel?
makes you more paranoid.
Yeah.
Paranoid? Yes.
Yeah.
I had to
Yes.
stop.
College, I smoked a lot of tree, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not nowadays.
What
though.
about the white powder? Man?
You call that
Tell me about
the Peruvian?
the Bolivian,
about the-
the Bolivian marching
The
band.
Bolivian marching powder, my brother.
Yeah, that's for after the podcast,
Hey,
bro.
we're going too low, my brother. Let's stop over here. Let's stop over here. Next time, imagine.
What about heroin, bro?
Brother,
podcast, we just-
have you heard about crack cocaine? Have you heard about crack cocaine? The people say it's pretty good.
What if like in between rounds, like you're in a fight, your coach is like, Moicano, you have to get
But
into
you know,
it.
but you know what's funny? I think there was a boxing fight that they put some cocaine on the water.
What?
Yeah, do you know it's a stimulant, right?
Oh, in the water.
In the water.
And they were like energized.
So that shit like energize you, brother. I have heard about that.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, we
For
should
sure,
try
if,
that.
if
100%.
that's true, 100% they did that to Mike Tyson at one point, right? I don't know. This is just jokes, okay, everybody?
Yeah.
I got
Moicano
jokes.
doesn't want to get sued.
I
bro.
got jokes, exactly. Allegedly,
Is there
right?
any more fights here? Marina Rodriguez, Jillian Robertson.
Let me tell you something. I see value on Marina Rodriguez.
As an underdog.
Yes, as an
By
underdog.
decision, maybe.
Yes, you know why? She beat Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas.
Yeah, similar matchup.
Similar matchup,
very
and I
similar.
think Amanda Ribas has better takedowns than Jillian Robertson.
You
Bless you, Masvidal.
mean who is better takedowns?
I think Amanda Ribas
Oh,
has
okay.
better takedowns than Jillian
Yeah,
Robertson.
Jillian's-
Jillian Robertson doesn't have very, like,
Yeah, they're a little
good
telegraphed.
takedowns. She's very
great,
good at grappling.
Great finishing once it gets to the ground.
Yes, but she has a problem. So I
but
think,
Marina's weakness is takedowns, bro.
but I've plus money, I see value.
Right,
She
yeah.
lost only to like top contenders, like Vina Jandiroba. She's fighting for the belt.
Andrade, Lucindo.
Andrade, Amanda Lemos.
I agree.
You know,
She can win by decision all day in this fight.
100% and plus money.
Yeah, big plus money on the
day.
decision. It'll
Yeah.
probably be like 4-1 or so. Maybe plus
Maybe
350.
maybe put on the cycle parlay.
I'm looking at it.
What's the cycle parlay of the next?
I'm not there yet, bro.
You're not- you-
I'm still licking my wounds from last card, cause
Still doing his tape stuff.
Let me see
yeah,
the card.
maybe yeah, it's a tough card to do a cycle, dude.
So I'm gonna do the cycle parlay right now, my brother, because you're not doing your
let's go.
fucking job.
I'll auto tail this.
Yeah.
But you got to put Bo Nickel in it.
Bo
but
Nickel decision.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I just hate taking him by decision.
Bo Nickel decision. What
It's a
about?
3-rounder? Yeah, 3-round, of course. I just see
Jeremy Stevens by knockout? Can we do it? Yeah. Bro,
I
that would
like
be
that,
elect-
actually.
That's gonna pay huge.
That's probably like plus 850 or something.
And then maybe
Azimat Bekoev by knockout.
what about us? Is there a submission? Do
Well,
you
we
like
need a
any
decision.
submissions on the card though? We need a submission.
Oh yeah.
So you have to
I
take.
kind of want to trust Nickel to be the first guy to sub Day Ritter.
That could
You
happen.
think?
Yeah.
I wonder what the odds
Definitely.
will be on that, bro.
Yeah. That
I'm
could
gonna check
happen.
some offshores and see what the number looks like.
Some offshore.
What, bro?
Cut that.
No, that's where they're
Offshores, my brother.
because
You're trying
the
to-
U.S. markets don't have those numbers available yet. So I like to see what it is.
Bo
on-
Nickel by submission is plus 525.
Where?
Hard Rock.
They have it up on a Tuesday.
Man. You
on
see
a
his
fucking
face of
Tuesday,
joy?
bro.
Did you see? Did you see? When we talk about crack and cocaine, it's like betting. This
Yeah,
is like
he's
betting
plus
for this
two-
motherfucker.
He's plus 220 by decision, bro.
220?
Yeah.
That's good money, right?
Compared to his money line, yeah. You want to hear what the knockout is?
Yeah.
Plus 195. How is the knockout the most favorite outcome?
Because they think he gonna strike.
Sanhagen by KO is 425, and Sanhagen by
hard to-
submission is plus 700. By decision, he's minus 140, though. That makes sense.
I can't believe these numbers are up already. For UFC Iowa, this isn't even a pay-per-view, is it?
No,
No,
of course
no,
not,
it's fight
brother.
night.
What am I
Are
missing?
you fucking crazy?
No, I know, but usually they don't have numbers up that early in the week for like a non.
It was actually nice to see the fight night card and see crowds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I was looking
yeah.
at it and I was like, it looks
Yeah.
like a normal
Yeah.
pay-per-view.
No, it was a very good card. Brother, let me tell you something. UFC Kansas City was a very good show. I think the main event delivered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only on the day, but on the fight week, they had good promotion.
Yeah.
People talking.
They built it up well.
Build it up well, exactly, you know? But let me ask you something before we go on. Do you think the fighting nerds hype was damaged?
no.
Because
No.
people are talking about now, Carlos Pratt is not
I saw.
fighting nerds anymore. Like he trains, he just come here on some days, you know?
I think it's actually better for all of them because now they don't have the pressure of being in UFC and being like, who's going to be the first person to lose? You know what I mean, in a sense? Like all four of them. They're like superheroes together. You know what I mean? Gene Silva,
Yeah,
Prates.
but all together, the hype was, right? 4 guys
It's never seen
undefeated.
before.
Yeah, 4 guys undefeated, same gym. But like I say, I don't think they got hurt too much. What do you think?
No. If he got like knocked out, it would have been like, damn. You know what I mean?
If he got submitted on the first round,
Fight Islam Makhachev.
No, I mean, even if he got put away, I don't think. I mean, at the end of the day, people just like the fighting nerds for who they are, bro. They like that they're excited, they're different, they're new. One loss is
they
one,
smoke,
Is that? Do all of them?
they
smoke?
bark. What else? They fucking kill people and say Jesus. But that's all Brazilians, right? They
Dude,
kill people and they say, "Hey, Jesus."
I saw Gene Silva again at Power Slap. I saw him in, what was it, like March or whatever? He got excited. He saw me. I'm like, yo, what's up? He saw me because last time I met him at Kill Cliff. He saw me, got super excited. I pretend to like mess around with him. He throws a flying knee and hits me in the mouth,
hits
makes my mouth bleed.
Really?
And I'm taking a picture with Kaio.
Yeah.
He's like, brother, your mouth is busted.
Bro, John Silva's wild boy.
He's out of his
fucking
mind. No, he's really out of his
Yeah,
mind.
he's fucking great. But have you heard about his story?
Yeah,
line?
it's terrible.
Have you heard?
Oh yes, I did hear that with his mother.
More than all that stuff.
Crazy, Chad.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you want to say, bro? You wanted to say something else.
No, I wanted to say, brother, that's I cannot
No.
imagine.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine, brother.
Crazy
You know that makes you a little bit crazy.
for sure.
I,
You
Right?
can
I
tell.
understand why he barks.
Yeah, I understand why he barks. It's a good punchline.
All right, let's end there. Tell the people what they need
Wait,
to do.
Moicano.
Even though we already did, I'll give you
No,
a shout
brother,
out,
no, brother, no,
No. Come on, bro.
No,
You brought
brother.
him for a
This-
reason, bro.
We're trying to sell stuff. I am doing a marketing. I'm doing a marketing on the internet course. So you don't tell people. You just sneak peek, my brother. You don't talk about that.
Let's give him a look, bro.
Man, but that's high quality equipment, my brother. Eventually, we're gonna ship this worldwide, my brother. This is leather, the best, the finest. You know? Look at that, bro. Look at that.
It's knockout proof.
No, but we still don't have the, like, this is just a model.
Oh, mock-up?
I don't know, model, mock-up.
Dude, I need a pair of those gloves, bro.
Brother, look the shin, guys. I know you don't kick.
My gloves are like dirty as hell. They're like
These
so
are actually
beat
really
down.
nice.
Man, really fucking nice, brother. That's crazy.
Because usually,
Joya
like
gear.
usually, like the stuff you buy is pretty cheap.
Pretty
so, like,
cheap. That's not.
it's one of the cheapest motherfuckers. I know, bro.
That's the.
The truth.
No, the truth is I didn't buy this. That's why they're good. You know, I'm selling this. Look the glove, Maddie.
Let me see, bro.
Check it out and tell the
For real,
people
get a
what do you
pair of
feel.
these?
Yeah, I'll buy them too.
Do you actually
I mean,
have
how
any
much?
pairs or no?
We will have.
Look at this guy. Opens up MMA
Selling
gym.
these broken
But
in.
getting
Look,
getting
Let me bring
gloves.
Kyle's face in real quick, bro.
Maddie's gonna take his last.
Would you
week.
guys fight MMA, like spar MMA? I think we should do that.
100%. I mean, Maddie would beat the shit.
I'm down.
I would have to like gas him in 30 seconds.
Brother, you giving excuses already?
No. I
Wait
never-
until you guys train.
brother. How many leg kicks
I
have I
don't train
taken from
MMA.
you,
I've
bro?
only trained boxing, bro.
That's the fun.
And wrestling when I was growing up. That's it.
Now he wrestles the Hard Rock every weekend.
Now he wrestled the devil powder, my brother. He fights the good fight.
I got submitted by the Hard Rock this weekend, bro. All right, we'll end there.
Yeah, let's end there,
Like and
please.
subscribe. Tell Gilbert he needs to come next week. Like the video so we get 3,000 likes or more, and we'll see Dorino next week.
Moicano.
Hey, brothers, thank you so much. If you got that far, remember to make the L, the like, my brother. Make the M with extremely confidence, my brother, and like button, okay? So Gilberto Barnes can be here next weekend. See you guys soon. Os!
Oos.